folks, Ben here again, and welcome to day 3 of my 5-day challenge to talk about my top 5 guitar players. And in today's study, what I'd like to talk about is none other than the cult's Billyduffy, or Southern Death Cult if you're really old school. And if you can talk about Billyduffy, you can't go without talking about this riff. Iconic stuff, love it. Now the reason I've chosen Billyduffy in this particular video is because it's something that as I was growing up becoming more appreciative of music, especially during the 80s, and a lot of stylistic changes, the cult were going through a mega change of their own. So going through songs like Ciao Sanctuary here, all the way through stuff like Rain. From the Love album, which is probably one of the most goth-tastic records they did, other than, let's say, when they were the Southern Death Cult doing Dreamtime. Moving on to the more rock and roll based stuff, Rick Rubin produced the Cult's Electric. Which I honestly cite has got an awful lot of kind of pseudo Keith Richards kind of riffs in there as well. And Steppenwolf and all those things. Actually, mentioning Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild was actually covered on this record. And then through various interviews, if you're following Krang at the time, the Cult were trying to actually marry themselves as to be, you know, the biggest heavy metal band of all time. And the closest thing I think that came to that was with this particular record. Bob Rock's produced Sonic Temple, which has got much more kind of a Led Zeppelin and bombast to it as well. And the goth element kind of was dwindling and so forth, but the riffs are absolutely huge and a lot more textures with the guitar, using acoustic guitars and harmony guitars as well. Number of changes where they kind of went into more a Northern Happy Monday sound as well, especially on a song like The Witch. Then experimented with some drop D tunings on the Beyond Good and Evil record, which I still think was a real return to form, even though it was tribbled with a lot of problems behind the scenes. Stuff that was a great record, and I saw it on that tour at Brixton Academy around 2001, I do believe, just after the Reading Festival. So that was a really cool experience for me as well. But one of the coolest experiences I remember seeing Billyduffy was playing the Marshall 50th anniversary show. I do believe it's the 50th anniversary show, and I think it was him and Corey Taylor doing like Love Removal Machine. That was pretty special. That was really cool. Now, a lot of people won't necessarily cite Billyduffy to be necessarily a virtuoso at all, but that's not what I'm coming from. Part of the reason I chose these guitar players is because of attitude and songwriting, and the Cult had it all over. Whether it was going from, let's say, the goth ambience that was kind of reflected in Love, going to more the kind of straightforward rock and roll and electric, to the kind of big bombastic stadium sound that was on Sonic Temple. those 3 records is such a musical shift. And as I said before, as a developing young music enthusiast, that was a wonderful time to kind of be on that journey as well. So that's something I take very much closely to heart. I loved a lot of his kind of very, very straight up pentatonic lines, but with loads of gutso. Nothing too fancy, but just really, really kind of got to the point. So I love a lot of those riffs. And being more sympathetic to a lot of the goth sounds, what I've tried to do is sort of more clean sound, jangly sounds. So you recognise this one. If you've been seeing any of my videos, you know I've talked a lot about people like Geordie Walker, for example, Killing Joke, and Duffy very much is in the same sort of categories. A lot more stripped back, but I found with a lot of the songwriting is just so punchy and really, really to the point. There's a few examples of what makes Billyduffy a special guitar player to me. So keep rocking, stay inspired, be safe, never be afraid. Day number 3, Billyduffy.